Okay, this is how to change Tice's pod. So first of all, this is Tice.
Hi.
And then scoot out of the way. Here's all the equipment you need. So this is his Omni Pod PDA. This is just his test stuff. This is 2 alcohol swabs. This is tack, extra skin tack, so it actually helps extra adhesive. And then here's the pod. And then here's the insulin. This is the backup, and this is the actual insulin. Okay, so here's what we're going to do first. First, we're going to use this device, and you just follow the instructions to deactivate the existing pod. Okay? So I'm just going through the list here. So it's going to say more actions. Select change pod. Confirm. It just said, do you want to deactivate? I said confirm. And he has to be close enough to it. There it is. Okay. So then we say next, and it actually takes you through. There's no active pod. Would you like to activate a pod now? Yes. Okay. So now you can follow the instructions here, but I'll tell you what the instructions say. You open this pod, and it says fill it with insulin, and wait for 2 beeps. Okay, so you open this up, and it has everything you need. It has needle, and all you do is twist this on, and there's the needle, and all this is for is to inject the pod. Okay? So I actually open an alcohol swab now, because what we like to do is...
Here you go, Dada.
Can you... Oh, and Tice just took off his other pod. Okay, good. So let's get this one over here. We'll recycle that. So we like to just wipe this just briefly before we pull it out, and then we'll reuse that. So there's 2 different ways to do this. So you just insert this to pull out the insulin. So what I like to do is just pull it out, and Miss Megan, you can see over here that there's 100 units, and then 200 is the max. I usually just kind of pull it down to about 150. You see there's a bunch of air in there, so I'm just kind of letting it sit. What Jody likes to do is she likes to unscrew this thing and like push the insulin in. You could do it either way. If you do it this way, the way I did it, you get more air. So you can see, so that means I'm gonna have to take the air out. So we're past 150. You just wanna make sure that you are at the minimum. There's a min, so you'll just wanna make sure you're at the min. Okay, so that's enough insulin. So we're done with that. Now I just have to get the air bubbles out. And so I usually like to kind of knock on this a little bit, get the air bubbles out, and then I just spray it and slowly kind of push the air out. There's still a few minor bubbles in there. I'll get a little bit more out. If you have enough, turbo quiet. So if you have enough insulin, look. So you can see there's still air bubbles in there, but I'm only going to put it down to the min, and then this thing will beep. Okay, so then there's this little hole. Tice, you need to scoot back, bud, so that we can see. So there's this little hole here. You just insert this, and then you just push down the insulin, and you do it pretty slow. So I'm just going to start to push. So what this is doing is it's filling the pod with insulin for the 3 days. So again, you do it pretty slow, and we'll hear 2 beeps here in a second. Okay, you heard the 2 beeps. I usually fill it up a little bit more, but just make sure you don't go down to any leftover air bubbles. So you see I still have some air bubbles in there and some extra insulin, which is fine. And then this needle will go into the sharps container, and then this is trash.
But I'm gonna use that.
Okay, but don't let us videotape this, bud. Okay, so we'll put that in the sharps. Okay, so then we go back to this. It said fill new pod after 2 beeps. Click next. Next. And when you do that, you want to have the pod sitting right next to the device. And it says priming. Do you hear it clicking? So what it's doing is it's pushing the insulin through the tubes in there and kind of preparing it and really priming it to be ready to be put on his body. And this takes maybe 20 seconds, and you'll just hear it clicking. And again, you want them in proximity. By the way, if you have the other box of pods, you don't want the whole other box right here. You want the box kind of far away because you just want it to be focused and connecting with this one, and then give it a few seconds to finish priming. Okay, so now it says prepare the infusion site, and then remove the caps needle and make sure that the cannula is not sticking out. So you can see on this one, this is the old one. This is what they mean the cannula, okay? You see that right there? Make sure that is not sticking out, okay? That's the old one. Let's look at the new one. So all you do to take off this top is just like that. No cannula, right? And then, back up, Joey. And then you just do this because a little bit of insulin kind of gets to that top, and if you do that, you'll feel it kind of drip on you. So that just kind of clears it out. And now we prepare his site. So he'll tell you where to put it because he has a pattern. Okay, what's your pattern? Okay, so where does it go?
Right here.
Okay, so turn around. It's going to be on his bum.
Right there. Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to go right here. Okay, so we're going to prepare the site first with alcohol. And can you see that okay, Joey?